Pimm Fox, host of Taking Stock, is in Boston this week for the Canaccord Adams Annual Growth Conference, which features small and mid-cap companies. And Pimm joins us now. Pimm, what are you learning? What are you hearing?
Well, Scarlett, if you want growth, we've got growth. Indeed, to kick off the conference, we've got an exclusive poll that shows that investors, a little bit more than half of investors, they believe the world economy is stabilizing. But even better news, corporate executives, more than 60% of corporate executives believes the world economy is stabilizing. And we have one of those executives. I want to introduce Jim McCluney. He is the CEO of Emulex in the world of technology. Jim McCluney, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Jim, tell us, what is the state right now of IT spending when it comes from, let's say, storage or even networking?
Well, I would echo just what you said there. We've seen stabilization over the last couple of quarters. We see a lot of new products and technologies being rolled out over the next few quarters to come. And we're seeing better visibility. Then I think we're seeing more confidence coming back into the market.
All right. Well, we're going to have an even more detailed interview later on in the program. Jim McCluney, the CEO of Emulex. Let me come to you, Peter Misek. You're the analyst at Canaccord Adams. You cover companies such as Apple.
And here's a question for you. How do you knit together data, voice, and video? Bloomberg's Pimm Fox is in Boston at the Canaccord Adams Global Growth Conference with one of the leaders in convergence technology. Pimm.
Thank you very much, Laura. Yes, I am here with Jim McCluney. He is the CEO of Emulex, a leader in the world of storage as well as networking. Jim McCluney, good to have you with us. Tell me, what's going on right now in the world of convergence? When are we going to finally get, data, video, as well as text? When is it all going to come together and get stored properly?
Well, I think there's been tremendous progress over the last year or two with the industry working together on new standards. And what we're focused on is creating one wire that particularly IT and data center managers can send all of their data through, whether they're storing it or they're moving it over the network. And we've been working on doing that on a protocol called Ethernet. Now, Ethernet's very ubiquitous. It's been running at 1 gig speeds, which haven't been that interesting for storage. But now we've got something called enhanced Ethernet. Everyone's agreed on how to do it. So now the gold rush is to bring out converged products that data center managers can wire once, upgrade later, do their fiber channel protocols, do their iSCSI protocols all over one wire. And why is that important? It saves them power, saves them cooling, saves them cabling costs.
How about saving the money? That's what everyone always wants to know about. Is it going to really save anybody money?
It's going to really save money. And the important thing is here is all the server and storage and interconnect people at Emulex have all converged on this convergence. It also helps with virtualization, which is another hot trend in the data center. So a lot of activity coming on. Emulex is right at the forefront of it.
All right, talk a little bit about Emulex and the battle for market share, because you're not the only company doing this. You've got QLogic, you've got other companies. What's it like right now to have to fight for these contracts? Is everyone just going to fight it over price, or is there also some fight over the actual technology?
I think there's, less fighting over price and more around what's the best technology for convergence. And we've messaged over the last several months that we took the time and really got this one right. Other people think this is a storage migration. It's not. It's a network migration from 1 to 10 gig on enhanced Ethernet. And what we've brought to the market is a product which we call a universal converged network adapter that does multiple different protocols on one piece of silicon. The OEMs, the server guys are designing next generation systems really like that flexibility. It does provide for lower cost and flexibility.
All right, as someone, though, that is from Glasgow, that knows about the transition from one kind of economy to another, are you seeing a transition in the economy right now? Are companies beginning to open up their wallets and spend for this type of convergence?
Yeah, we're seeing it already. We've got some first-generation products out just now that are selling off the shelf, so people really want to test this new technology. I think there's some enthusiasm and confidence coming back in to the end-user base. I think the level of investment by technology companies like our own are unprecedented. And we're seeing life coming back. I think we see some growth, sequential growth coming in the quarters to come. I think we've bottomed out, so we're pretty optimistic about our prospects.
Now, we're here at the Canaccord Adams Growth Conference. I mean, are you seeing actual growth in the market, or is it really just a shifting of money from one player to another?
I think there's a bit of both going on. I think as new technologies transition, you see that shifting. But I think we see signs of an uplift in overall IT spend. It's going to be modest to begin with, but I think as we move into 2010, we're going to start to see some robustness coming back.
All right, now specifically with Emulex, you know, you just went through this whole issue having to do with Broadcom attempting to take over the company. Are we done and dusted with that, as they say? Are we drawing a line under this?
The chapter's closed as far as we're concerned, and luckily we kept focused on executing our plans, delivered a good quarter, so the company's moving ahead with its business plans.
All right, one of the things that we found out in an exclusive poll here at the Canaccord Adams Growth Conference has to do with hiring. A lot of companies saying that they're not going to be hiring very many new workers in the next 12 months. What about at Emulex?
We've retrenched a bit over the last year. We had to cut costs in light of the economics, but we're starting to hire some key positions in engineering. We're also expanding globally and positioning people with our OEM partners in some of the emerging technologies and countries. So it's a little bit of a balance. I wouldn't say it was a mad rush, but we're being very cautious about where we hire, but we are hiring.
Where are you seeing the best growth now? Is it outside the United States in places like Asia, or are you going to see a pickup in growth here in the U.S.?
I think, like most economists, you know, the pickup will start overseas in some of the emerging economies, but we're seeing life here. We really are.
What about financing? Are you seeing any life in financing? When you take a look at that balance sheet, you always got to worry about the cash.
Well, you know, we're lucky to have no debt and $300 million in cash on our balance sheet, so we're feeling pretty good. We're not getting a lot of money for our cash these days, but I think with our channel partners, we're starting to see some things easing up as well. So, you know, the trends are good.
All right, I want to thank you very much, Jim McCluney. You're the head of Emulex. Best wishes and good luck at the Canaccord Adams Growth Conference. We've got much more, lots of CEOs, lots of analysts, Lori, all through today and all through tomorrow.
Okay, our thanks to the Emulex CEO and our Pimm Fox. Lawrence Summers, director of the National Economic Council and one of the top economic advisors to President Obama, is expected to speak shortly at a retirement research conference.